Okay, and we're back from a crash while zoning. So things, they still happen. Alright, so here we are in Dagmar. This zone was a pain in the ass. Pretty cool. A little difficult to get around. Now, you see these group merchants? Certain quests will give you, alternate currency, it's called. And you can buy stuff from these merchants with this alternate currency. Like right now I just have 66 because I bought some stuff, but this is actually kind of good because a lot of this stuff is rare drops that only drops off like boss mobs or names, and sometimes, and there's also merchants like this for raids. So if you do the quests, you can, you get the currency, you can buy the stuff. So it's not entirely dependent on you winning the role with your group or anything like that. You can still get the stuff. So that's, I think, a good feature. Basically, you need to make your armor now. Like, you get a pattern like this. This is I think a tier 2. And you gotta combine it in this special box, and it'll make a class-specific piece of armor. I'm wearing basically all tier 3 from this expansion, and some stuff I got on raids. So, which is really weird because I was never a high-end player before. I was never like a top guy or in a top raiding guild or anything, but since I've come back, I've been playing, and now I'm raiding like the final raid zones and stuff. It's nuts. I don't really know what happened because really I like the casual game. I like walking from Qeynos to Freeport and stuff like that. So this is Dagmar. Anyway, we're not gonna really go in it because I don't want to get lost and then killed. Death still does matter. A lot of people think, that the old game death was so, it was so harsh that it really made you aware of every single thing you did, which was true, but death still is an inconvenience now. I wouldn't say it's super easy mode, and there's no penalties or anything. I mean, you're looking at, for a death, I don't know, 10 minutes of downtime, but it's still a pain in the ass. For me, being a necro, it's not that big a deal. Because I can always summon my corpse and that kind of thing. And, with having a cleric with you at all times, you can res yourself. But your cleric, he'll get killed too, and then you have to wait to res him. So, it's still, you still don't want to die. It's definitely not as bad as, it's not as harsh or as scary as it used to be, but it's still not, like, simple. Okay, next, we're going to take another boat. That's right, another boat. Just like in the old game. We're actually going to have to wait for it if we're unlucky and ride it to where we're going. The next zone is called Thuliosaur. but most people call it Dino Island or Dino Isle because there's a bunch of big dinosaurs on it. And that zone to progress through was probably the most difficult, mainly because there was just a massive amount of quests, like just a ridiculous amount. So where is it? It's quests. All right, so for mercenary, I had to do all of these. It's a lot of goddamn quests. It took me a while. I was able to solo most of them, but I don't think most classes would be able to. But the reason I did it, aside from just to get the achievement, which I'm telling you, for some reason, I don't know, they're addictive. If you do all those quests, you get this. Jonah's Dagmar Skeletal Parrot Augmentation. And if you're new to augmentations, they're basically, you know, your gear now has slots and you can put different augments into them to, you know, boost the stats. So this is a really good one here. It's probably one of the best augs I have. But, man, a lot of work and a lot of time went into it. Mounts. There's a mount keyring, so you can have multiple mounts. I mainly use the same one. Some mounts give you stat buffs and stuff like that. So yeah, this is kind of old school, waiting for the boat. Suppose you could work on trade skills or something if you like that kind of thing. UI's looking crazy. There's a lot more stuff going on than, you know, maybe you're used to in the old game, but I don't know. I'm used to it at this point. You can have, if you have the right AAs, you get, how many is that? 12? Yeah, 12 spell gems. So that helps a lot. And also, a lot of spells now they made them into AAs, so you can just hotkey them. So like things like I don't need to have a Feign Death spell loaded because I have the AA version. You know, they had that a while ago too, I think. Because I remember my original main was Ranger, and he had the AA snare. Okay, here comes the boat. I think it's kind of like the old boats. Like you just see it and you wonder if it's going to actually move over. But while we're riding the boat, we'll talk about, you know, when I first started playing, it was not classic. It was like around the time when Everquest was huge, and I think Pop had just come out. And I would always hear these stories about classic and about, you know, how much more difficult it was, or better, or this or that. And then when I found P99 and played on that, you know, I got to do it, and it was awesome. I loved it. I loved classic so much. But I think I said I came back to this just to scout out shit for P99. I just kind of got stuck here. I don't know why. I just haven't gone back to P99 in a while. Maybe because I don't have time, and this is a bit quicker. You can get more done in a little bit of time, but to be honest, I have spent a lot of time on this character. Let's see what the plate is. Okay, slash plate 47 days, 17 hours, 47 minutes. And my account is approximately 8 years, 272 days old. So, same original account, but new character. So I spent 47 days on this character who started at 85. I wouldn't count that all as playtime because I don't know if this counts, but there's an offline mode now. So if you remember, you used to be able to set yourself up as a trader in Bazaar, and then you could, you could be a vendor, but you had to keep the game on. Well, now you could set yourself up as a trader, and you can go into offline mode, and it keeps your character in the game, but you don't have to have Everquest or your computer even on. So that's pretty cool, but I don't know if that accounts into the played time. I think it may, since you're technically logged in. Okay, so here we are. Dinosaur Island. This is kind of a weird zone. It's like a jungle type zone, but for some reason in the beginning of the zone is like a huge undead area. So you need to invis to undead real quick. And then you need to invis again so the dinosaurs don't kill you, because they'll tear you up. They're pretty strong. As a Necro, I could solo most things, if, provided I get one at a time, which is sometimes hard to pull, but okay, so we're invis to undead. We're gonna run through here. See if I can show you some dinosaurs. There's a huge rabbit. It's actually not that huge. I think I just have shrink on. Okay, so now we're in Viz, back on the mount. Safest place in this zone that I found is if you just run on this river here. Sometimes that huge butterfly spawns unnamed. It doesn't look like he's up. That's what it seems most people do now. They run those heroic adventures and they camp name mobs. I guess people did that in the old days too, but you don't really see, XP groups like you used to. At least not at this level. Usually there's some sort of questing involved because aside from just killing the mobs, you can usually grab a quest that is kill quest, like, kill 5 whatever in the blood fields, and so you go, you kill them, and you get, a little bonus. Alright, there's a huge... Holy shit. That's a big dinosaur. And he sees invis, but I think they have a really low aggro range, so I don't think he's going to do anything to me. I could kill him, but I'll probably get an ad. Yeah, like I said, doing the quests here were really tough, but I definitely got that sense of accomplishment when I finished them. And one of them involved this bastard over here, which you can only talk to if you max out your Elder Dragon language. I mean, it wasn't that hard to do because that's so many practices, so you just go to the guild guy and max it out, but you had to max out Elder Dragon. I also had to forge some stuff, but that guy, fuck him. Alright, let's get out of here. It's just gonna evac to, I think, the dock. Okay, so we're going to wait for the boat again. Actually, we're not, because I'm bound in the next zone we were going to go to anyway, so we don't need the boat. So let's just gate real quick. Since I think we've seen just about almost all of the Darkened Sea already. Okay, yeah, I'm bound on Brothers Island. And what we're going to do is going to combine Dredge. And that one you definitely need to be flagged for. I think it's tier 3. And this boat is weird because you just get on it and it zones you in. So I don't know if they just got lazy, we're trying to rush it out. I have no idea. But this zone is weird. It's a little futuristic-y. I'm not sure. It was fun though. I did all the quests here, and they were challenging, but I had a good time doing them. I'm not gonna lie. One thing to know: remember her? Yeah, she's a god, but she plays a big part in this expansion. I couldn't tell you what the whole story is, but she's involved in a lot of the quests. She's involved in the raids and everything. But she plays a big part of it. I'm not sure why. Alright, so we're going to cheat right now to run to the next zone. And by cheat, I mean use a feature that they didn't used to have, which is find. So I'm just going to find the zone I want. And it's going to give me the path right to it. I know, it is very not old school, but you know, it's there. I'm going to use it. I'm almost 40. Not level 40. 40 years old. I don't have time to be running around without maps. Actually, I probably do, but that's another story. Alright, so Arps, this is combined Dredge. It's kind of cool. It's good. Could solo here. But we're going to go to the final zone, and this is where the raids take place, and this is where I spend most of my time, so maybe we'll kill something in here. This is Arps Mentus. Okay, so here we are in Arps Mentus. This is a futuristic-y looking zone. There's Fariona again. This zone could be difficult to get through because there's probably the worst mobs in Everquest history in this zone, which are these sea invisible brooms that hit so hard, it's ridiculous, and they wander the hallways of this zone. They're a total pain in the ass. I mean, they're just there to piss you off. I can't tell you how many times, like, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. That's all I'm talking about, the invisible brooms. You'd have to experience it yourself. Alright, I'm going to show you how I kill mobs on a Necro at 105. You see this yellow con mob here, so he's probably, I don't know, he's higher level than me. Alright, I'm going to swarm him with my 105 swarm, then my level 100 swarm, then my level 95 swarm, then level 90 swarm, then level 85 swarm. Now I'm going to cast a debuff on him. And now I'm just going to hit a macro that repeats that step till he dies. And I'd say at this point in the game, swarm pets are the best things that a Necro has going for him. I can solo name mobs, all kinds of mobs, higher level. And you know, I didn't need to, did I? Oh yeah. All right, yeah. So I don't need to use a mercenary, and I don't want to use a mercenary because mercenaries get AAs now. But that to get AAs for them, that comes out of your experience. So if I kill this mob without a mercenary, I'm getting all the experience. So I'll get 1 AA for every one of these I kill. And this is actually the placeholder for a name mob in this zone called the Principal. And she drops some good gear that I don't need, that I usually let rot. But she also drops rank 2 spells, which sell for a lot. So that's pretty much why I camp her. Rank 2 spells, I'm not sure when they came out with rank 2 and rank 3 versions of spells, but that makes it a little more better. It's not like you just buy your spells anymore in POK. I mean, you can do that, but if you want the rank 2, you need to quest for them, basically. You need to get the drops, which is usually for... depending on the level, it's a different item that you need to get, and there's different versions for different levels. And they'll give you the rank 2 spell. Now the rank 3s only drop off raid bosses, so those I only have a couple. You may have noticed I didn't have to loot just then when I killed. It looted for me. Well, that's new advanced loot, so let's open that and look at that. This came out fairly recently, and basically what it is it auto loots the mob you kill, so you don't have to go right click on the corpse and take the stuff. And you can set up filters of things that you always want or things you never want. And when you're in a group, you can set it up so it auto rolls for whatever. Or if you're the master looter, you can give certain items to certain people. So at first I hated it. Now it's kind of convenient, you know, especially if you're killing like a ton of stuff. It comes in really handy to not have to run back and right click all those mobs. So I pretty much leave it on. These mobs here have a 5-minute spawn time, so we'll wait a couple minutes and see if the Principal pops, and we'll kill her. This bottom floor of this zone is really weird because it's like a town, but not really. Like, none of this stuff will... There's like merchants, they won't aggro you, but yet you kill things down here. It's really weird. Once you get to the upper levels, though, everything will aggro you. So I don't know what the story is. It's an odd place. The raids here, though, are pretty fun. And they're challenging. Raids nowadays, they're not as time consuming as like the pop raids were when we had hundreds of people. Like, from what I remember, it was like some, you know, ridiculous amount of people. Now it's about 50 people, and raiding takes. I've been raiding like 4 nights a week, 4 or 5 nights a week, and normally it takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and that counts like even if we wipe one time. So, you know, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's easy mode, but it's not the same game, I think, is what I realized coming back. You can't look at it as like classic and not classic anymore. They made it into a new game, but the mechanics are still the mechanics that everyone loves. You know, that I've really never found another game that had like the mechanics and casting and just the whole way combat is in EQ. I've never found a game that had that, and this still has it. So to me, it's almost like playing a brand new game that still has a bit of that classic EQ feel that I think everyone who plays like P99, you know, loves. So while we wait, getting around in the game is not as simple as it was with all the content they've added. They didn't add POK stones for like all the new zones and that they've added. So I was really surprised by that. So travel is actually kind of back in the game. Certain places are a pain in the ass to get to, and you gotta, you know, take some time to get there. I mean, it's nothing like it used to be, but it's still there. They made it a lot easier with the zone guide. I'll show you. So like if I go to zone guide, I can get a list of every zone in the game. So if I wanted to go to Lake of El Omen from here, click set end, it'll show me the path, which you can see is pretty long. Arps, Mentus, Combined Dredge, Brother Island, Tempest Temple, Buried Sea, Barren Coast, Tox Forest, POK, FV, Lake of El Omen. But, you know, there's more ways to port, too. Holy shit. Principal popped. We're taking down and named on the stream. Okay, Zoo, you could do it. I'm going to turn my tribute on. Tribute is, and trophies are things, well, tribute is from, you know, basically I think probably most people know what it is, but it's, you can donate gear you're not going to use and get tribute points for it, which you can use to basically buy buffs, like special buffs. And trophies are for completing other events. You can get a trophy that'll give you buffs as well. You know, you need the tribute points to put into it, but there's certain things you can buy in Bazaar that'll give you a lot of tribute. So you can see this every 10 or 15 minutes costs me 150 tribute, but I have, you know, like over 500,000, and this costs 215. So, all right, where'd she go? She went up the stairs. Damn, there's a whole bunch of other people in the zone. That's another thing. You'd be surprised the population. And not just on the progression servers. This is not a progression server. This is the Tunar server. And it's pretty populated all the time. I was really surprised. Because this is not my original server. When I came back and was just checking stuff out on free-to-play, I decided one day to go through all the servers and see if I had any characters I had forgot that I made. And it turned out I had a level 50 druid on this server that I don't even remember making. It must have been during a promotion or something where they gave you a free level 50 or something. I don't know. But, so I played that druid for a little while and kind of got sucked in. And then I bought the level 85 Necro. I thought the Necro would be most fun to play. I always wanted to play one. I like mages a lot too, but since my main was a mage on P99, I figured I'd go Necro with this, and I don't regret it. Alright, so since this is a named mob here, it's going to take a little longer to kill. So hopefully this isn't boring as shit. But we'll see what she drops. Hopefully something I could sell. The spells, depending on which one she drops, they can, you know, some of them sell for over 100k, so it's pretty good. I mean, most people at this point in the game, I don't know, I would assume, are millionaires in plat. Okay, why am I clicking this? Let's click the macro. Sometimes with her I like to manually click it in case I need to feign death or something, but that doesn't usually happen. Nothing usually adds here. This is a very slow and easy camp. If you have a dual monitor set up like I do, this is the kind of camp you do while you're working. Like, you know, you take down a mob, go back to work, wait 5 minutes, take down another one. And you can, you know, make plat and, you know, you get an AA for every one you killed just about. When they have those double experience weekends now, it's crazy. Like, you can, that's where I got the most of my AAs, and I think that's when I hit 105. So usually in a group type setting, I will use the swarms, but I'll also use the dots and my pet. I'm not sending my pet in right now because if it gets aggro, she'll just, you know, tear them apart. So I'm not, I'll wait till she's almost dead to do that. And I'm not going to cast any dots on her because I don't want to get aggro either. Dot damage on high-end necro like mine is now is crazy. Like a critical dot per tick could do well over 100k. Also, pretty much nowadays, a necro is almost impossible to run out of mana. I know some people say mana, I say mana. You have AAs that can you know, just give you mana, or you can, like, I have blood magic over here, which we may use, which can use my health as like it instead of casting from my mana pool, it's going to cast from my health pool, so that's a good one. But there's a bunch of other shit, so it's very rare to run out. So you don't need to say donating for KEI. But I don't think anyone uses KEI anymore. It was replaced with something else. I forget what it's called. I don't know. People throw it on me sometimes, but I don't really need it. I can pretty much self-buff myself for solo play. Like, the only time I get buffs are if I'm AFK in the guild lobby and they happen to land on me, and for raids. But for solo play, I just self-buff. I think, though, the Necro was always kind of like that. Like, even... I played one for a little while on P99. I don't think I got very high. And I played one in, like, the pop era for a while. To maybe the level 30s or something. But this is the most fun I've had with one, honestly. It's pretty cool to be able to do almost anything on your own. Okay, we are running low on mana. We're at 10%, but I do have a mod rod. So maybe I'll do that. I still don't want to throw a dot on her. I don't even want to risk getting aggro because she'll kill me in like one hit. Even though I have over 100,000 hit points, but what do I have? 110,000. She hits hard. Alright, let's use the mod rod after this cast is finished. I probably don't need it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, maybe just because we're doing the stream, we'll throw a dot on. Maybe we'll get a crit. No? Okay. There she is. I got an AA, and she didn't drop shit. She dropped a diamond, which I looted, and she dropped the shoulders, which drop often, and I have them. Let's see. Required level 104, 2949 HP, 2775 mana. I don't know. They're pretty good, but she drops those often. I was kind of hoping she would drop the spell. So we're going to leave that and call it out rotting in case anyone needs it. I hate seeing gear go to rot. Alright, that's enough of that. How about we go do some old school shit? Let's go... There's my pet, Grimace. He looks pretty badass, I think. The 105 Necro Pet doesn't normally look like that. It's just that I have an earring that changes the illusion on him, so he looks... Normally it looks like a stupid kind of Grim Reaper thing, but... Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to... We're going to port back to the guild lobby, and we're going to go to the old POK, and we'll hit some old zones. Okay, so here we are, back in the old POK. Love it or hate it. You know, it is what it is. A lot of people hated this when it came out, from what I heard. Ruined the game. Where are we gonna go? Let's do something old. When I first started this game, I made a half elf. He was a half elf ranger, and he started in Surefall Glade. I think I was level 10 or 15 or something ridiculous like that before I even knew about bind. So every time I died, I'd have to do the run back from Surefall Glade. And I can remember losing my corpse. I somehow made it to Lesser Fadark. And I got killed. And, you know, I didn't know how to find my corpse. Didn't know how to get it back. And I did this run multiple times. So much frustration. So much... I remember actually like punching the dresser. I was so pissed off when I finally made it to the corpse but got killed again. I think that was one of the things about this game and the frustration with death and how difficult it was that kept you coming back. It was like, you know, if a bully was picking on you and you finally stand up to him. Or something like that, like something like it just beats the shit out of you, and you want to stand up for yourself. You have to continue. You have to, you know, get that damn corpse back. So, speaking of old, Qeynos. Look at it now. The guards are actually probably going to attack me now that I think about it. I remember you were really, really considered uber if you could kill a guard. Let's see if my pet can kill guard Qeynos. How's my faction? Ready to attack. So he wants to kill me anyway. So let's send my pet in. Wow, they're actually putting up a fight against the pet. Oh, Grimace took him down. I mean, these guards can't be what? They must be level 50. But that's pretty funny how things change. Yeah, a lot of people don't like that skeleton graphic either. Like the old one better. I like the old one better too. I mean... So let's do the run. Let's do the run from Qeynos to Freeport. If I can remember how to do the run. I think I remember the way. But we'll probably be seeing some new things along the way, which I'll explain as we get them. Who the fuck's that? Misty Story Swapper. I don't know what her story is. Ah, get it. Story Swapper. Mrs. Zoo even found that funny. Yeah, these old zones, man, these are awesome. Am I going the right way? I don't want to go up here, don't I? Karana. And yes, thanks everyone for watching. I didn't think anybody would give a fuck about this game anymore. I think I've just gotten to a point where I'm getting a little bit bored. I mean, there's still... I could probably get another 1,000 or so AAs. But really, I've kind of run out of things to do, so I figured I'd give streaming a go, because I like to watch streams a lot. Shout out to Super Bits and Bob, my favorite. He does. Definitely check out Super Bits and Bob. Okay, so here we are in West Karana, old zone, but it never had that crazy shit going on. What this is was from the last expansion, which basically, if I click that fire, I'm gonna go to an alternate version of the Karanas, and I don't know what it's supposed to be. They're all in the future. It's in the future or something. And actually, fuck it. I'll just go and show you. Alright, so I have the music off, you know, just for the stream, but this is Etherne Tainted West Karana. And it's actually sad because, you know, everyone remembers West Karana, and then you come back and it's all fucked up. And there's lava everywhere. There's some kind of backstory. I'm not sure what the lore is behind it, but this is like a camp. There's all these guards, but like everything's all messed up. Some major thing happened. I don't know what, but in the last expansion, I guess was Call of the Forsaken, it was called. I'm kind of catching up on all this myself because I just came in during the newest expansion, so I don't really know, but I think the last one, most of the zones are old zones that they redid or did like a parallel version of. But yeah, so that's Etherne Tainted West Karana, and in there, if I went further, there's like some portals that'll take you to other zones. So kind of like a mini POK that'll take you to zones in this game, in this expansion. Some of them are older zones. I can't remember which ones right now, but we can zone back out into the old version. Quegan Hadar. I don't know where he's running. So, okay, we're back. There's the fire guys, and that's what zones you in. And we're going to continue on to Freeport. Remember this guy? He's indifferent to me. Honestly, guys, I'm not sure I even remember the way. Somebody... I think... Right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to North Karana now. So just basically straight across. I knew it better when I was playing P99 still. But in the last few months, I just exclusively been playing live, so I forgot everything. So this zone, for the most part, pretty much, you know, unchanged. Awesome, though. You know, lots of memories. My favorite thing, I think, in the Karanas is the bridge. And just remember sitting at that bridge and killing mobs. Or wasn't there also a spot over here that was a good camp? I don't know, there's a lot of these kind of houses. But I kind of remember camping something like that. I can also remember getting lost out here on my Ranger when I first started playing, and I just kind of wandered into the Karanas. I don't know what level, but definitely a level where I'd get owned by everything. What's going on there? Has that always been there? Huh. I don't know. I can't remember. But, yeah, I remember coming out here on my Ranger and just being terrified and being like, how the hell am I going to get out of here? And I must have been level 9 or so, because I know I had the invisibility spell, but it took forever to cast and it would just fizzle, like, constantly. I remember just trying to get that up and try and run somewhere. Man, I'm using the map a lot. I really don't know my way anymore. Okay, almost at North Karana. I can't remember if this has the bridge that I like a lot. I used to camp the bridge on P99 with the mage. Just kill those griffins. Okay, so I guess we're just going east to East Karana. I'm pretty sure we have to go through High Pass too, right? I don't know, but we're doing this goddamn run. Look at that, a silver griffin. Was that always in the game? Let's cast a dot on him. See what happens. died. Drop silver griffin feathers. I don't want. I should kill some stuff, get some action in this video. Unless the run is exciting enough. It's not as exciting as it used to be, but at low level, this run was great. I mean, it was, what an accomplishment. Like, you did it at like level 3 or something. That was so much fun. Awesome. There's the bridge. And there's another one in here somewhere. But yeah, I always thought this bridge was just super cool. And the old water, right? Isn't that the old water? That guy's new. Okay, here we are. Gonna cheat a little bit and use the map to get to High Pass, because especially now they redid High Pass, so I don't remember my way through there. And is the map's really cheating? I don't know. Oh, we gotta go up the big hill. Look at that band. Let's take her out. Alright, let's send Grimace. The bandit sash. I can't remember, but I know that was important for some reason. You could turn those into somebody for XP. Now this is some cool shit. Just going up this mountain, I always thought this was really cool. And there's like, I'm pretty sure there's like faces carved in the wall. We'll get up there and we'll take a look. Oh, and the Gorge of King Zorb is out here, which, for anyone who hasn't played live in a long time, that's actually been redone. Not the actual zone, there's a new one though. I don't know, it's weird. It's like they got lazy and just kind of like that other West Karana. There's another Zorb. There's also another Eastern Wastes and a few other ones too. Oh, is that the thing I was talking about? Yeah, that's cool shit. Just this. Nothing in there, but like at a low level you might sit in there and just like med for a second after maybe you fought this guy. I love that little stuff like that. Undead Reaver. Grimace. Yeah, but now since I have this advanced loot on, I'm gonna have all this trash loot to vendor. But nowadays, bags are gigantic. So, 24 slot, whatever. I can't tell if this run's going fast or long compared to how it used to be. I would imagine much faster. Probably because of my mount. And, you know, things like Spirit of the Wolf aren't necessary anymore. You have, you know, the run speed AAs, you have mounts, doing those achievements by visiting old zones also speeds your run up, so you're pretty good. I think there's still a few things I could do to make them run a bit faster. I don't know how much more it'll get, but yeah, this has got to be way faster than it used to be. It's hard to compare when I don't have like the other one set up right next to me. But let's check this out. Take a little break. We'll rebuff for no reason. But yeah, so most of my buffs are AAs. So Gift of Grave. That's like a, I don't know, boost stat kind of thing. Group Perfected Dead Man Floating. I can't remember if I mentioned that yet, but there's the Perfected line of spells, and it basically means they never wear off. They're not on timers, so they only wear off when you die. Cascade of Decay, and then I got all this shit on these pieces of gear that cast buffs. So I'll run through those. And then little novelty items like Nimbus of the Green Thumb here. Watch. So now my hands will like throb green. And I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a reference to like weed. I don't smoke weed, but I just thought it looked cool. So yeah, alright, on we go. Freeport. I will say I'm not happy with the new Freeport, the way it looks. And the new, remember, there's no East-West Commons anymore. It's just Common Lands. So if you haven't played in a while on live, that's another big change. And I'm pretty sure that High Pass up here is different too. We're going to see. Okay, here we are in High Keep, and it's totally fucking different. So we're definitely going to need to use the map, or we'll use the find. I'm not sure what my faction is here. I'm going to go invisible just so I don't have a million mobs bothering me. Okay, Kithicor. Yeah, Tunar. Vertigo. Do you guys remember how scary running through Kithicor was? That was probably, in my life, one of the best, most memorable like experiences in a game, because it had that day-night cycle. For anyone who never did it, it's basically just like a haunted forest, but at night, all these like high-level mobs will come out that would tear you apart, because usually you were pretty low level doing this run. So what I would do, I remember waiting in the little shacks in there for daytime to come, and then you'd hug the wall and run through. Everyone probably knows this, but anyone who's watching this anyway. All right. God, Jesus, like a maze. It's not as bad as it used to be, but yeah, I don't like this zone at all. But what's that thing called? Is it High Keep? Yeah. On P99, I spent a lot of time in High Keep leveling. That was fun. That was really fun. Craziest thing happened. I was in a group in High Keep on P99 not too long ago, within the last couple of years anyway. And, I was in that everybody wants that camp where those goblins are. So we're in the group for hours, and we eventually all start talking about where we live. And like two of the guys in the group lived in the same place, and then it turned out, long story short, I guess they talked to each other in tells. Turned out they were like childhood friends or something, and they just re-met after however many years in this group in this game in fucking High Keep. I thought that was so cool. Okay, here it is. Scary Kithicor. I'll tell you what though, they definitely brought up the brightness, because I remember this zone being a lot darker. Unless it's just because I have all this shit that makes me see good. Well, no, I think they got rid of that whole not being able to see in the dark stuff anyway. But I remember the zone being a lot darker. There's also another version of this zone, like, was in one of the later expansions, called Bloody Kithicor. And, I don't know, I went there once, just had a look and left. It's kind of cool. I don't know. Since I jumped right to 85, I missed, or there was no real reason to do content like that. Oh shit. We got aggro from somebody. Zombie trooper. Let Grimace take care of it. Okay, now we're in the new old common lands. A lot of good memories here. Everyone knows the tunnel. Come on, that was awesome. But this sucks. Look at that. Yeah. Terrible. Terrible. And it's just one zone now. So, does that make our run shorter? Wasn't there a lake over there right on the left? I'm gonna have to look at the map again. There's that lake. So I guess they left that there. Okay, looks like a straight run east. Look at that. Remember him? Nobody wanted to run into that guy. Payback time. See what he dropped. Exquisite Velium embossed rune. Invisible back on just to avoid a million mobs that might. Now that's not something you see all the time. Alfonso's corpse. He just left it. Here, in the common lands. I didn't think anyone came out here anymore. But this server is surprisingly populated. Look at this guy. What's his story? Let's see. Hail. Oh, shit. That's not what we want. Greetings, my friend. Do you know these lands well? I'm looking for some help from someone who knows the area well, particularly Befallen. Alright. So that guy probably has a quest in Befallen. Yeah, I really don't like the way this zone looks compared to the old version. I'm pretty sure they changed Oasis too. And yeah, I don't know. Zombie. The tunnel is still here. There it is. But nobody's there. There is someone else in the zone. That's funny. Let's sell in the tunnel. See how that goes. What do we got? How about we sell some bone chips, like the old days? Want to sell bone chips. Torch 1. There's one other guy in the zone. He probably thinks I'm fucking mental. But... Sadly, we're about to complete the run to Freeport that quickly. I mean, I'm not sure. I wasn't really looking at the clock, but definitely doesn't take anywhere close to what it used to. I think that's it right there. And here we are in the new Freeport. It's sad, really. It just sucks. I think I was still playing the game when this version came out. And it's just, I don't know. I don't like it. But, is it an actual player? It is. He's probably AFK and, no, he's not a mercenary. I don't know what he's doing. But there it is, guys. New Freeport. I think I'm KOS here. Remember this guy? Boomba the Big. He didn't used to look like this, though. Yeah, I really don't like it. New Freeport.